tone, evilly, turn up the microphone.
Ice-T opened the door to West Coast rap, a crack.
Great.
Okay? And then here comes the NWA in the fall of 1988 and into 1989, and talk about bum rushing the show. I mean, they just smashed down the door.
Straight out of Compton, it's a crazy brother named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hard off.
When I first heard Straight Outta Compton, yo, I really thought that Ice Cube was gonna me up.
They was the first ones to actually break that chain and say, we ain't gonna make no hip-hop, nice records. We making records about getting our dicks. The police, we shooting, whoop, 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 whoop.
NWA was like the first gang on record. Straight Outta Compton, that was like going on a drive-by. And the whole attitude of the record was just, you.
You could claim that Straight Outta Compton is the most influential album in the history of hip-hop. They definitely changed the kinds of things that people were talking about on records, and also changed the language that people used.
It was ass bitch. Like, it was, ridiculous, and I was like, oh.
Damn, that's so.
We just went in there to make records, to have fun with it, and just say the wildest that we could say on the record, and do whatever we want to do. And that was that. That's how the group came about.
What is your group now?
NWA.
And what does that stand for?
Niggas with attitudes.
The name of the group is not NWA. It's Niggas with Attitude. Now, can you stomach that, America?
I think NWA was brilliant to say we're NWA. It's the biggest you ever. And it's not just a you to white people. It's a you to black people.
It's saying, yeah, we niggas. So you don't have no more power. So you're finished with that.
That was the first time I'd ever heard the word nigga from a standpoint of power.
When something happens in South Central Los Angeles, nothing happens. It's just another nigga dead.
NWA, of course, starts in Compton. I mean, you have Eric Easy, right, who was one of these kids that the capitalistic urge was always there.
Easy was definitely a hustler, top to bottom.
I never intended to rap in my life. I had a little money, I started a record company, and ended up rapping about stuff that I've been through. Dre was good as a producer. Ice Cube was a good writer and rapper. Ren was a strong rapper and writer. And Yella was a producer. And then myself.
And that's the way Easy does it then.
What we would do at the time is take the popular song that was out, redo it and make it dirty. I can remember us doing My Adidas, We redid the beat and changed it to My Penis. And Q would go out there and sing that and have the crowd laughing, That's basically how NWA came about. We performed in some of the raunchiest places in Compton. I've seen guys come out the audience and walk on the stage and beat the artist down that's on stage because they looked at it like, you made me waste my money. You had to be good, or else.
I came from Compton. That's what I wanted to talk about, Compton. You had everybody from New York rapping about my Adidas and my chain, this and South Bronx and everything. I wanted to put my city on the map. I'm from Compton.
It was people that lived in Compton that were embarrassed to say they were from Compton. We just wanted to let everybody know where we were from and that we were proud to be from there.
The records we do, it involves a lot of gangbangs because that's just a reality of the street out here in L.A. and Compton.
Being around NWA was the first time there were a lot of guns around.
You made me clap your hands.
Guys going out on stage and getting strapped to go out on stage. We didn't have that before NWA.
I do look kind of bland though.
Behind the red dot.
We just took it to another level and just told it how it was, without holding back.
Remember that many of the songs, one in particular started off, what is up, who is he coming on the mic, is he me? That isn't exactly the kind of songs that were being played on the radio in America at that time.
If we had went into it going, you know what, we have to make a record that's going to get played on the radio, we would have failed. We were just making records as just something for us to listen to, something just for us to make a little money on. We had no idea it was going to blow up the way it did.
They were selling a lot of records locally. Then when Easy meets Jerry Heller, he said, because this is so controversial, this is so dangerous, there's going to be a market for this.
I took Straight Outta Compton to the chairman of the board of Capitol Records. He looked at me and he said, you better stop getting high on whatever you're getting high on, because this is too crazy. It was something that was very frightening to the establishment.
Police coming straight from the underground. A young got it back because I'm brown.
Public Enemy opened the door to the expression of sustained anger in rap. NWA blasted past Public Enemy.
The really interesting thing about NWA is Straight Outta Compton was much more in the spirit of the Black Panthers than what Public Enemy was doing. Really, for NWA, it was about power. It was more about, this is what we're dealing with these cops and with everything else, and I don't have a message, but I'm mad, and I'm doing something about it.
No more pigs in our community. No more pigs in our community.
Police are there in our community not to promote our welfare or for our security and our safety, but they're there to contain us, to brutalize us and murder us.
Instead of the pigs, they said the police. Those records were highly political.
But take off the gun so you can see what's up, and we'll go at it, punk, and I'ma you up.
We was just letting everybody know that black people was fed up with getting harassed by the police and getting beat-bombed.
Sometimes I want to kick the out of them because they've been having me face down. Police pulled up now and they saw my friends just having fun behind me. You know, they'd probably break it up or whatever. But, you know, they ass, man.
That was in everybody's hearts. That's what we felt, you know, being 17, 18 years old with a new car. You can't drive 2 blocks without getting stopped.
The reason why we made that song, we were at a mall one time, and Easy had a skirmish gun that shoots paintballs. And I can remember driving a Samurai Suzuki Jeep, and Easy was in the passenger seat, and him leaning out the window shooting people on bus stops. He was getting a kick out of people bugging out because it was red paint. People were actually thinking they was shot, you know. A couple of miles down the road, and about 50 police cars later, we're face down in the street, you know, with guns to our head. We left that incident and went to the studio and cut that song.
Police, that's the way it goes in the city of Compton, boy.
Because of that record, there was a FBI memo that was written about the song and the fact that it, you know, depicted people shooting the police and everything else. Once it made the papers and once the group got out there, record sales just skyrocketed.
I knew Straight Outta Compton was humongous when we got the letter from the FBI.
It was very frightening to me. Here's the top law enforcement official in our country telling us that we're responsible for the deaths of 89 law enforcement officers in the United States of America.
I'm like, whoa, okay. We touched a nerve. Now let's see what else we can do.